brace for impact, they'd been told. And as Hurricane Milton finally made its landfall last night, its fury was on full display.
Coming in like a tsunami, you guys!
The Category 3 storm made landfall in Sarasota County, halfway down Florida's Gulf Coast, where the waters rose 10 feet high. Even for the most daring of storm chasers, its ferocity had them running for cover.
It's just after 9:30 at night here in Tampa in Florida. The eye of the hurricane has made landfall just south of here. The rain is pelting down. The streets, as you can see, are flooded, and the water, I can tell you, is rising by the minute. This is turning into an extremely dangerous situation.
Over 3 million homes lost power.
There goes our power for the 8th time.
As Milton sliced its way across the state. The winds up to 85 miles an hour.
No!
So powerful, they slammed a tower crane into a downtown St. Petersburg building. But what had been dubbed the storm of the century, though, did not, in the end, materialize. It weakened to a Category 1 hurricane as it moved through the state, and the feared catastrophic storm surges were kept at bay.
The storm was significant, but thankfully this was not the worst-case scenario. The storm did weaken before landfall, and the storm surge, as initially reported, has not been as significant overall.
Oh my God.
It was what preceded Milton that actually turned out to be the most deadly. The strong offshore winds spawning dozens of tornadoes, tearing through entire communities. 5 deaths have so far been confirmed, all in St. Lucie County on the east coast, some linked to one retirement village when multiple twisters touched down unexpectedly late yesterday.
These tornadoes came out of nowhere. Our deputies reported back. I heard for myself. I was out there with them. 6 different tornadoes touched down in a matter of 20 minutes.
As the sun rose this morning, an ugly picture of what had occurred the night before. In Venice, the sides of buildings stripped, yachts tossed into backyards along Punta Gorda, a giant sinkhole formed in hills. In this city of Clearwater, we came upon police rescuing people from an apartment complex inundated with water.
It's just, I'm too emotional to talk right now.
Tell me though, how bad has it been?
Horrible, horrible. The screams, the noise, that you help me and you can't help. It's a devastation that only one can imagine.
Miguel says he's been living here for 22 years and never experienced anything like it.
Oh my God, it was very bad. Around 10 o'clock in the night to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning today was very bad. The wind was terrible, and the water, unbelievable.
All this, remember, just weeks after Hurricane Helene bore down on this state, its residents returning once again to pick up the pieces.
This is the second time for us, We had Helene that came by. We had everything cleaned up, and then all of a sudden this comes around, so we got our fingers crossed.
Hope in its bounty is what Floridians will need now as the mammoth recovery effort begins, a job likely to take months, if not years. And with more than 7 weeks left in this year's hurricane season, this will likely not be the last of it.
Well, Floridians will be happy to hear there are currently no hurricanes on the radar. Bear in mind, though, this one popped up only a week ago, and of course it followed Hurricane Helene just 2 weeks prior to that killed 230. And that really is one of the most striking things to me driving around here, the sheer level of destruction that is still evident from the previous hurricane. There are piles of rubble piled up everywhere. Luckily, those fears of flying projectiles that everyone was talking about, well, that didn't come to pass. We were in the eye of the hurricane last night. Make no mistake, the winds were ferocious, the rain was lashing down. But I think it's safe to say that the worst case scenario did not play out here, and the waters today have largely receded. And most damage, as we said in that piece there, came from the tornadoes. Nearly 150 of them by one estimate. This being Florida, of course, politics has reared its ugly head just 1 month before the election. Donald Trump accusing Biden yesterday of running the worst hurricane response since Katrina, and Joe Biden in turn dismissing Trump's onslaught of lies.
Siobhan, thank you very much indeed there. Stay dry if you can.